Hello, 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 everyone. What is going on? James here of the Banterous Hour, or as some of you would know, or as most of you know me in the Abel MKDS community, Witty Janter, and I want to welcome back I want to welcome everyone to the Banterous Hour, and now the guest of the hour, Mr. Abel.
Hello, thanks for having me on. Good to be back. And yeah, you caught me off guard there with the full screen just there, but that's awesome. Yeah, thanks for having me back. Looking forward to talking.
No worries, bro. Many thanks for returning. I'll get some of the cheeky comments up. This is hype. Hi. Yo, Mary.
Mary's in there.
Boo stream.
Racking up already.
And starting in a couple minutes. Epic. Oh wow. Hello.
Got breaded. Yeah, it actually got pinged in the main Mario Kart DS Discord. So
legendary.
Lots of people flooding in. Yeah. Yeah.
How is stuff going? Very well. Thank you all for joining. Much appreciated. So let's get the first cheeky question up. Oh. And the first question is, whoops. Here we go. So the thing is, right, I've noticed this with a lot of speed runners, including, well, not loads, but some of them, including yourself. Like, I feel like the people who are best at the craft can do this. So when I put a comment in saying, Abel, XYZ, what do you think of this film? You actually are able to like have a discussion, wow, doing all these complex tricks or focusing on snaking or, you know, focusing on trying to get PRB. But what I wanted to ask is, did it take a long time to get good at that? Like when you first started streaming, were you just quiet unless like you finished a race or?
Yeah, that's a good question. It took me various years to be really comfortable with talking and playing a game. And I think it also stems back from playing like competitive FPS, like for example with Counter-Strike, which I bring up a lot on my stream. Like when I started playing that game, and it's obviously a 5v5 type thing where you have to communicate with your teammates and say what you're doing. It was very difficult at first, but I've learned that skill of playing and communicating at the same time. And I feel like with streaming, I've definitely elevated that in the sense that, you know, I'm going for world record here. I'm also keeping track of a chat room on my other monitor and, you know, TTSs that come in. And yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. It's something that you just get used to. But it is difficult. Like, for example, when I'm trying to get the perfect rocket start, you might pick up on this. And some people may pick up on the fact that right before I finish my sentence and the rocket starts coming up, I go silent because I really want to get that rocket start. You know, little small details like that make it difficult. But I've very much gotten used to it over the years. I've been doing it since, I think this is my like 5th proper year of like consistent streaming since I started again in early 2021. So yeah, really grateful to be still doing it, and going to be doing it for a while longer, I think.
Fair play, man. Hopefully you're still doing the cheeky speed running in 2065.
Unless I'm dead. Yeah, I don't see myself stopping for now, or unless I've got a serious wrist problem or joint problem or something, or I go blind, God forbid. But you know, it's like I keep mentioning, it's been like 2/3 of my life now, literally 2/3 of my life. I've grown up with this game, like I've matured with it as a person. I've known so many people. I've traveled literally to another continent to do an event and to meet players from different culture in Japan. I'm going to be going to America in 2 weeks' time for the MK64 meetup, and also going to be meeting up with some MKDS players. So yeah, it's something that I'm most likely taking to the grave. So did you hear that, Mary? But it's a huge part of my life, and will probably be a huge part of my life for many years to come.
Yeah, so man, fair play. It is cool when people, like, you know, can find a passion when they're young and just stick with it, or a certain game, or certain types of reviews or certain type of content. So it's cool when people stick with this stuff, to be honest. It'll be interesting to see, like, because obviously, although on YouTube and Twitch it feels like loads of people make loads of money and make a living out of it. In reality, they don't. It's just a small percentage. But because we only, the consumers only watch the biggest YouTubers typically, we all think, oh well, everyone must be able to make it big. But it'd be interesting to see when people like yourself or myself or others who don't make content or stream or speedrun full time, if we're blessed enough, and fortunate enough to make it to retirement age, if we would all still continue like making content, or if we just think, what, can't be bothered. Because it's interesting with like what happened with COVID, everyone had all this time off. I didn't really feel like making videos, but it's partly because I was trying to find a job. And there's some people I know who don't work, and one of my mates who doesn't work, he hardly makes any videos, but he could easily just sit there spamming videos out all the time and going like mad and like getting somewhat big. Not that big because his content isn't that good, but I feel like he does his best, but like he doesn't put much effort into the editing. But it'd be interesting to see if like when people like me or you or anyone else who doesn't make content full time, if we would continue it, if we're all fortunate enough to make it to retirement age.
It's likely, as long as I'll personally keep doing it as happy, like as long as I feel like doing it, I'll just keep doing it, and that's all there is to it. As long as it's fun and fresh and it feels good, and life's priorities are all in check, and in a couple years, might have a little Abel running around. So I don't know how that's gonna shift the whole my whole priorities in terms of streaming and content creation and stuff. But I'll do my best to fit it all in there. But that's pretty much.
Obviously, you've got to put your loved ones first. Everyone would understand. Even if you turned around tomorrow and said, "I'm done with streaming forever, goodbye," although I'd be a bit gutted. I'd be like, you know what? Fair enough, man. You've given years of graft and cool stuff, and
that's what a lot of people just end up, realizing and just end up doing, and you ought to respect it, because those are big boy, big girl decisions to make in life, and especially and I talk to Mary about this a lot, and to a lot of people, but it depends on the person and what they want to do in life. But if me personally, I've been brought to a realization of, do I really want to just is this all what life is about? Just getting on with your 9-to-5 job or whatever it is that you do, you stream or you do your thing, you just hang around and be online all the time until you're 70 something, 80 something, and just you're gone. Like, there's more to life than just what you've established already. Like, obviously, having a family, having a child, all that stuff is what really made me think that is probably the next level. Like, I personally don't see myself just, I'm just going to stream MKDS for 40 years. It's hard to see myself just, that's not just what life is. There's other things to do. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's
100%. Yeah, definitely. Thing is, it's like, look at some YouTubers. You got Mr. Beast, for example, Logan Paul, KSI with the silly Lunchly and all these corporate bloody silly things. But yet PewDiePie, I feel like if I had to copy one of their roads, if I was put in that scenario, would I rather have PewDiePie's life or a life like Mr. Beast or KSI Logan Paul? I'd much rather have the simple life like PewDiePie, because although he doesn't make many videos anymore, him and his missus and his kid, they have a good laugh together, and I like how it's all family orientated content. I feel like that's more so what, that's more of an important thing in life, rather than just chasing status and looking like the coolest person in the room and all that stuff. And even when you do have editing and you do things to make yourself look cool, like Mr. Beast, for example, look at all the controversy that came about him. I thought to myself originally, damn, this dude is a guy who is doing so much for random people and giving them 10K and curing people, helping like treat people and helping cure people of things that they can't afford in their country. But then in reality, he's just a bit of a corrupt guy. He hired a convicted paedophile and made him wear a mask and called him Delaware to hide his identity. And one of his mates, Ava Chris Tyson, or Ava Tyson, what's it called? Did like put him inappropriate things in a Discord, very inappropriate things and daft things. So, it's just crazy how you see all these people and they're edited in a certain way, but yet behind, and Mr. Beast was edited in a very good way, and so was his colleague Tyson. But then, the fruit comes off the tree, all the apples come out the barrel, and we see what they are for real. But to be honest, I feel like you really tested when your back's up against the wall, and Mr. Beast didn't really take much accountability. He just sort of just washed his hands of it and said, "I've sacked this person now. Goodbye." It's a bit ridiculous.
He's the biggest YouTuber in the world. How many millions of subs does he have? What, hundreds of millions
Crazy
of subscribers?
amount.
He's probably got, the CEO of YouTube in emails. He's
Yeah.
got that reach. So, and he takes shortcuts and stuff. So imagine, like, for example, me at a local level, I'd say I'm relatively well connected in the speedrunning circles, right? And I can speak to this person or that person or the head organizer of this speedrun event, blah, blah, blah. But like when you talk about Mr. Beast and like that kind of level, it's unbelievable.
It is definitely.
Just going back to what you said, the person that got sacked for all that stuff, was it someone in their team? Someone part of their group that they got sacked? I can't. I don't know much.
Yeah, Tyson was very was prevalent in a lot of videos.
Oh, okay.
Delaware wasn't, to my knowledge, Delaware wasn't in many videos, but Tyson was in a mad amount of videos. He was like, sorry, I don't know, because Tyson had a sex change, so I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure Tyson was a man when he did all these, suspect things and typed all these things, and now it's caught up to Tyson years later. It's caught up to us, so there you go. It's crazy.
Okay, then it is the person I was thinking about. I see.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just crazy, but that's the thing with this modern world. With the modern world, like if Tyson had done this years ago when it was just all letters and stuff, but like say if Mr. Beast was like some big silly TV show where he did like challenges and all that stuff, no one would know until years later. But because of the digital footprints, it shows. You can't be arsing around, and you shouldn't do it anyway. Even if everything was in letter forms, you shouldn't be bloody sending inappropriate stuff to kids. That's bloody evil,
It is. That is a cancer.
Yeah.
In the online sphere, that really is a huge problem. Lots of people in gaming circles and like online content creators and stuff, the amount of shit that gets leaked about inappropriate communications is absurd, and it needs to be eradicated.
Definitely,
it needs to be eradicated. I actually watched. Sorry, go ahead.
As I was going to say, it's mad how in private there's so many bloody strange people in the YouTube elite. Like, I haven't mentioned him ever since I started the Banterous Hour, but James Charles sending pictures to multiple minors of his arse. You know what I'm saying? And then he doesn't get put in prison for like 30, 40 years. He gets away with it scot-free. That's absolutely preposterous and ridiculous. How can he get away with this stuff? But it shows that the elite, it's like with this recent, all the Epstein files being released, it's like the elite can get away with whatever they want. But although people's backs are up against the wall and you see their true colours to a degree and how they respond to these things, you can also look at other people who weren't in the files, Keanu Reeves, Mel Gibson. Say what you want about Mel Gibson, but he weren't in the files. You know what I'm saying? I understand he said some stuff and made some mistakes. But at the end of the day, you got to respect when these celebrities who could get away with anything that they wanted to an extent, when they don't do these evil things and they don't partake in, evil demonic nonsense, which is what Epstein's Island was.
I don't even know where to start with the whole thing, but it's sickening. It's beyond sickening, and it honestly, it confirms the more people that believe in like, how do I phrase this correctly? For me personally, the more I believe in conspiracy theories or yeah, the more I believe in them, the more real they turn out to be. That's
Yeah.
how I've viewed the world in the last couple of years. Like, it's actually fascinating how information just gets suppressed and stuff. But yeah, the Epstein stuff is I think it's just, as many people say, it's the tip of the iceberg. There's stuff that we don't even know, and if we knew, the world would just. But this is a whole different topic. I mean, it goes super deep. It's all awful. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And it's like, what's mad as well. I'm not like an anti-vaxxer or anything with those conspiracy theories. However, I found it very interesting because I've been having like vaccines my whole life and trusting them completely, thinking, oh, these pharmaceutical companies are all sound as a pound and all that stuff. They want to make money, so they're going to look out for me. But in 2022, I basically just couldn't get round to having a flu vaccine. But I've been pretty much getting ill my whole life. Like I'd had blocked noses every 2 months and all that jazz, and it was horrible. I'd get consistent colds over and over and over and over again. And there's other possibilities, but like I stopped taking the vaccine ever since 2021, and then in 2022 I wanted to take it, but I thought I've got so much going on, I can't be asked. And then I've never been ill. Well, okay, I've gone the longest time in my life where I hadn't been ill. And I was saying this to people, and they were like, "Oh, you just built an immunity and all that stuff." And some people are like, "Well, you suffered from this, that, the other when you were younger, and all that stuff. You might just have gotten stronger or whatever." But I feel like it seems like a bit of a coincidence. I was getting ill my whole life, and I'm telling you all the truth. Like I have recently got a bit more ill recently. Like I think October 2023, I got very ill, but everyone was getting colds for months, and I was avoiding them. Then in January, I was ill as well, but it was just a quick bug that I got over. So I find that very interesting. I'm not saying vaccines destroy people or that they're the worst thing ever, but I find that my whole life I thought this is the safest stuff and it's going to keep me healthy. But yet, as soon as I stop taking it, it's like I'm not getting ill. I find that very interesting.
I'm not well versed at all with the vaccine stuff, whether we're talking about the COVID vaccines or any other types of vaccines. However, very, very, because as soon as you were describing this, I was like, I know what he's going to say. And my mum went through the exact same thing. She would always take the vaccines before the whole pandemic, the flu vaccine, this, that, the other. She'd feel not the best. As soon as she stopped taking them, she's been fine. She's been fine. So it's it's interesting. Again, I'm not well versed with any of this, but it sure makes you think.
Yeah.
And she's a woman in her 60s, right?
Yeah.
So it has nothing to do with she's built up an immunity, better immunity, blah blah. It makes you think, doesn't it?
Definitely. And could the establishment be trying to keep us ill so we're not able to? I know this might sound a bit mad, but like, so we're not able to, I don't know, like get to their level with certain things, like do they want to keep some people down? Do they want to keep some people ill? Or do they just want to keep making the pharmaceutical companies rich? But all I'll say is, again, I'm not anti-vax or pro-vax, but all I'll say is, please, if you can take anything away from this podcast, anyone who's watching or watches it back, having a load of injections ain't going to save you. What will help you is what you put in your body, what you eat, natural supplements, natural food. That's what helps you. Because I know people who are like, I'm getting my 10th COVID vaccine and all this stuff, and I'm getting my 50th flu jab. Hurrah! And it's like, okay. But these people are not putting good food into their body. They're eating rubbish and processed stuff all the time. So I feel like just all of you remember, if you get the chance, try and eat either all natural food or some natural food, or just put natural stuff in your diet. I can give you all some recommendations. Turmeric tablets, you can take them apart and do them in a tea. Taking fish oil is good for you.
Some of that magnesium as well.
Yeah. People rave about sea moss, but I haven't tried that yet. And just having natural foods again, just not like, because as a society, we eat far too much plastic, and that can't be good in the long run for us.
Biotin as well. Biotin's very good, especially for those fellow hair lossers. Biotin's very good. Get plenty of sunlight too.
Oh yeah, for sure. But
yeah, spot on with everything you said.
Yeah, man. The network knows as well now.
Oh, he's
Big
referring
MKDS
to
Abel.
yeah.
Talking and focusing on a game is the hardest. Yeah, I respect that a lot, to be honest, because I remember once I tried to do a bit of speed running on BFB, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom on the PS2, and I found it impossible. I was trying to pull off the tricks that shifted, and I was thinking, bro, this is mad. And then I tried to do this thing called cruise boosting, where you jump. No, sorry, you have to press this button where you throw a bowling ball and you fire like a bubble rocket at the same time. And it basically started making my PS2 go like that, and I thought, well, this can't be good. And I was trying to copy some of his moves. I thought, this is difficult, man. I've got no chance with this. And then I thought, imagine having to try and talk at the same time. Crazy.
Maybe that was your PS2 trying to render more pixels or something, or I don't know, more polygons. I have no idea.
I hope you're still watching Abel by 60 years old.
60 years old. Imagine.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Colossal, thank you for the 59-year sub.
Belly podcast, please, please. Honestly, I was tempted to get my belly out for this podcast, but I don't think I've ever done that, to be honest. My co-host has. He's bloody gone ballistic. He's like completely got his belly out and started going like this. And
oh man.
And when I used to be on the Club Brick streams, which is like a channel that did Lego related content, before anyone says anything mad, all the colleagues in that were all adults, by the way. I don't know how old the viewers were, but I wouldn't join some bloody mad like kids channel or whatever. They were all, well, actually, most of them were a lot older than me, to be fair. One dude was like nearly 40, one of the channel leaders. But one person on there kept saying, "Get your back out, back stream, show your back to the audience." I'm like, no, I'm not doing that, thank you.
How old is Lego? Lego's from what, the 60s probably? Or...
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
do you know how Lego came about? So what happened was, this is an interesting story. So,
well, for you personally, or how it?
No. Oh, bloody hell, 1932? I can't believe that. Crazy. But what happened was...
1932, Lego
was founded.
No way. I thought it was the 60s or something. Anyway.
But what happened was, this kid who came up with Lego in the end, he was holding a load of stuff in his hand, like loads of kitchen items, and his mum said, "Let go of that." And that's how he came up with Lego. No, I'm kidding. That's what Carl Pilkington said. Okay. Carl Pilkington said it on a XFM podcast years ago. And Ricky was like, "There's no way that happened. There's no way that happened, Carl."
You almost had me there.
It would have been good if that happened.
Was it Denmark?
Yeah.
Danish, yeah.
1932 as well. Now, I'm not sure. I'll actually look up how it was created. How was Lego came up with?
It's interesting because you've got people like me who are still playing a 20-year-old game in my early 30s. So surely you're gonna get like as the years go by and things get older and people get older, you're gonna get older hobbyists.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's and it's gonna be, and the whole stigma of you're a grown man, you're doing this, and it's marketed towards children. What are you doing? Blah blah. That whole stigma is gonna fade eventually, I hope.
Yeah,
and I think it is fading anyway with gaming, especially like the whole, you're 22 and you're still playing games. Go get a job. Like that whole American 1950s dad type mentality.
Yeah,
you're out of the house when you're 18. Now that's all going. I think video games and modern media will remain with us, I think, for the rest of our lives. To be honest, I don't see myself, and I think it's great. Fuck it.
End of the day, there are still some dummies who say, "Oh, like some geezers at work." When I've said to them, "Oh, I like Lego Star Wars: A Complete Saga and Battle for Bikini Bottom, they're pretty cool to me." And then one of my old gaffers, who's a sound bloke, but he was saying, "Oh, kids game," and I was like, "Hold on a second, you like Lord of the Rings? What are you on about?" I've met loads of people who say Lord of the Rings is a kids thing. Obviously, it's not, but it's seen as a geeky, silly thing. So I like Lord of the Rings as well, but like, don't say BFBB and Lego Star Wars: A Complete Saga a bag of arse, like nostalgic childhood games, and try and say, "Oh, kids game." Bro,
sorry, go ahead. Sorry, I'm interrupting you. Sorry.
I was going to say as well, he likes Warhammer, and I could easily say, well, that's a bunch of kiddie stuff. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's got their own little hobbies that you can say, well, that's silly. But I just think as much as I have a lot of issues with the modern world, which I'm obviously not going to go into on a podcast. One of the things I do like about the modern world is that there are a lot more. There's a lot more accepting people when it comes to like collectibles and all that stuff. Like when I was in school, well, because I did a lot of tie boxing when I was younger, people didn't mock me for liking Lego. But if I didn't have the reputation of doing tie boxing, I feel like people would have mocked me and said, "Oh, Lego's for kids. Why are you playing with Lego, you weirdo?" You know, I wasn't playing with Lego. I was collecting it and trying to do stop motion. But yeah, I genuinely believe that Lego. the stigma has faded quite a bit. I only hear that stuff from. Yeah, but you know the people that said it to me. One dude was about 11 months younger, and the other dude was like about 6 years older. Who was saying that stuff, and it's so pathetic. I'm like, bro, who cares? Like, I could like bloody what else is? I could like bloody playing like the most childish platformer games. It doesn't matter as long as I'm not hurting anyone. You know. What's mad though? I said to one geezer at work, I was like, you know, with how much things cost at the moment, would you rather have a PS5 or a Nintendo Switch or? Yeah, at the time I said Nintendo Switch because the Switch 2 hadn't come out. And he said, oh, PS5, because on Nintendo, it's all just kiddie game nonsense. I'm like, what are you on about? He said, I said, all right, tell me what games would you get on the PS5? And he went, oh, Fortnite. I'm like, Fortnite's way more childish than like Mario and Zelda, you mad bloke. I was saying to him, and he's like, oh, no. There's Call of Duty. And I'm thinking, bro, I'd much rather play the best Mario games than like the latest Call of Duty slop.
It's it's mostly just narrow-minded opinions from people that you just denote as being normies, right? And I don't like being, you know, like better than anybody. I don't want to be elitist in any way or whatever, but that's just a fact that people reduce X, Y, or Z to like, oh, that's a kid's thing, or you know, they'll never go deeper. Like, for example, and I don't blame people in my immediate circle for this, but when I tell them, you know, they're aware that, you know, I do Mario Kart stuff, you know, and I don't blame adults like boomers, like from our parents' generation, going, "Oh, it's you like Mario," and it's like, okay, yeah, objectively, it is a game from the Mario universe, but again, like I've explained to you 20 times, Mario Kart has very specific mechanics, and you know, that's what appeals to me in the game, and that's what makes me come back and keep playing it and blah, blah. Oh, but you like the characters and da, da, da. I'm like, well, yeah, sure. But like, this is what interests me. And this is, it's that narrow-mindedness that sort of, do you get what I'm saying? But
yeah, 100%.
But it is what it is. You can't just shift someone's opinion like that quickly, but whatever. And it's the same with Counter-Strike. Like one of my parents, I'd explained to them like this game is great, and look, there's so much tactical depth to it, and you know, you communicate, and it's amazing, and you know, it's so mechanically deep. And they kind of go, oh, but it's violent. Yeah, but the majority, 99.9%, in fact, all of the pro players in the scene don't care about the fact that blood is coming out of the players in the game. It's really just about eliminating the enemy team and just scoring points and winning matches and stuff. It's, I don't know, it's them seeing it from a different angle, I guess.
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, at the end of the day, like, I do know a lot of people who say, oh, violence in this, violence in that, la-di-da-di-da, and it's like, well, I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't like a lot of gore anymore. Like, as much as I used to enjoy Resident Evil 4 a lot, I've had a big change of heart when it comes to, like, violence and gore. And I think, like, Red Dead Redemption 2 is kind of my limit, you know. However, I will give Resident Evil 4 like credit. It's still one of the best games ever. It's amazingly made, and the story's pretty good. I love the mechanics. I love the survival horror aspect.
I love Resident Evil 4. Yeah,
I like the whole, you know, finding a typewriter and saving your checkpoints like that. And then you always meet the bloke who says, "What you buying? What you selling?"
The merchant.
That's it. Yeah, he's awesome. A legend. I like how bombastic and mad and corny it is as well. So although I wouldn't go back and play it now, it was still an amazing game. But I'd never say to people, oh, you know, this game's violent, therefore it isn't worth considering or giving a chance. Like some people might be fine with the violence that goes on. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, video games turn people violent," but you get horrendous violence all over the world where there's no video game access. So I don't really get how that equates to anything.
Yeah. I mean, the example I was referencing was more of an isolated one from someone who's in my family of a much older generation. So it's not. I doubt that the majority of people nowadays think of it that way. The whole, the news stories in the 90s in America, are violent video games turning your kids, more violent? That whole thing is gone as far as I'm concerned. I don't think that gets talked about a lot. It's more so the hours that are spent on devices, that being the major concern, and grooming and shit like this. But like the whole violent video games thing has been like the first wave attack on the gaming industry, if anything. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like with the whole grooming stuff and spending too much time on devices, I feel like the worst devices people could be spending time on is definitely the old phone, to be honest. I feel like you're looking really close, you're consuming
right here.
Over and over again. As much as I don't consume it anymore, a lot of people and everyone at work, because with my job there's a lot of computers around, and everyone's always checking their phone and like looking at the computer, checking the phone again, on their phone over and over again. I just feel like that can't be good for people. To me, like when I take breaks, because a lot of people, they have all these contracts where they can use their 3G all the time. I don't have one of those contracts, so I'm very careful with the 3G. I mean 4G or 5G. And when I used to go on my phone loads at home, and then I wouldn't be on it at work, I'd feel a lot better at work. And and then when I get home, it took me ages to realize, but I thought, I'm not going to go on my phone down. I felt so much better in my mind. It felt like there was a big weight off my head. So I feel like, the phones are just no good when it comes in excessive use.
It's a drug.
Yeah.
It's a drug, and it's very bad. If you stay on it, it practically becomes a third arm. Yeah, I mean, it's you go into any train carriage and everybody's just like this, and it's
like
concerning. But it's become such a big. I mean, our lives are on these things.
Exactly.
You've got your banking, you've got your messaging, everything, and it's undeniable. And the world in recent years has made it like such. But yeah, it's a challenge to restrict your hours and your screen time, but it's just a reality going forward.
Yeah, sadly. I feel like a good thing people could do, though, is just put a podcast on in the background and not stare at their phones. They could listen to the podcast, but they're actually not destroying their brain and their eyes and getting a headache.
In fact, Mary and I were listening to one, because if you get YouTube Premium is great. That's the only thing I think I pay for. I had Netflix and then I cancelled it because we went back to buying DVDs in the last few months, and it's great.
Yeah.
And I advise you guys do that as well. But I think YouTube Premium is great because you can lock your screen and just listen to a video or podcast. We just put it down when we're having dinner and just listening to some guy talk, without necessarily having to watch a screen or that screen behind me there. So yeah, YouTube Premium's pretty good.
Here we go. Oh, dude, telling people I did a Minecraft roleplay series, dangerous, but it's like it's your passion. Screw. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, there are some roleplay things which I think that's a bit odd. Not Minecraft ones, but in a GTA where they treat GTA like the real life and have jobs in like GTA Online. I feel like that's pretty trippy. I feel like because that takes up so much time, I feel like that's a bit odd.
I had a friend who did something similar. Have you played Gmod?
Little bit, yeah. Little bit.
He was really into Gmod role playing. I don't know if he still is, but he used to run a server, and people would go in and role play as the guard or as the peasant or whatever. So yeah, people are, and there's forums dedicated to all this stuff, or I don't know if they're still around, but it's pretty serious, intense stuff. But going just back to what Colossal said, so he did a Minecraft basically feature-length sort of movie. It's on his YouTube, and I'm plugging it now.
Oh,
You go to
nice. I'll look that one up.
Colossal, yeah.
Colossal TTV then, yeah.
Yes,
on YouTube.
Yes. He made a feature-length Minecraft thing with its own script, and everybody jumped in a call and like role-played and voice acted, and definitely deserves a lot more viewership, I think. Reminds
But I
me,
can't.
it brings me back to when I did that Mario Kart DS documentary. It's a lot of work,
I'm
So, yeah.
struggling to find it. I've typed in Colossal TTV.
Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. But yeah, it's on his YouTube channel. Let me see if I can just pull it up. It's split into parts. I'm gonna shoot you the link via DMs real quick.
No worries, boss man. Sorry.
I see. It's on a different channel.
Luke. Let's get it up. Oh wait, there's a lot of stuff though. Yeah, Colossal. Oh damn, it's an hour 20. Oh, I'm gutted that I only got 45 views. That's one of those things in it. But I'm happy to get the video up though. Let's take a look in the book.
Okay.
Boosh.
Oh, got a picture-in-picture here. Nice.
I'm enjoying.
It's all very cinematic and well done. So yeah.
Yeah, cinematography is fantastic. I really like. Where are we? One moment. I like that shot. The whole like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know if this is copyrighted or not. Oh well. It's on YouTube. It must be fine.
Really what you want?
What the fuck are you talking about? Like, honestly.
F-bomb already.
Maybe if I showed you
in there.
missing.
I'm a bit worried about risking the whole. Risking it for a biscuit, but check that out. It does look pretty cool. I respect all the effort. Humbling to see you. Check it out. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no worries, man. You know, it's cool to plug people stuff. I'm hoping that it doesn't cause any copyright issues. But the worst thing I've had happen is a bloody a claim. Everyone gets copyright claims here and there, don't they? So it's one of them things.
Yeah.
I remember when Nintendo footage used to be. I don't risk the copyright, but seriously, thanks, guys. No worries. But I find it weird that Nintendo used to copyright their game footage. Like, how trippy is that? Like, how could they be so petty back in the day? It's just bizarre.
I think they still are quite petty, especially with like shutting down Smash Bros tournaments. And I spoke about this the other day on my stream, but Nintendo are a company now that really, ever since especially Iwata is passing, the former president, they're extremely protective of their intellectual property, and I understand, but to a point where it prevents, like it infringes. I don't know if infringes is the right word, but it tramples over any sort of fan-made projects or anything that's really not backed with a lot of money or anything like that. And I think it's very unfortunate because the whole ethos is about like family and everybody can play and games are for everyone and da. But like from their legal side, Nintendo are sadly a pretty awful company, I think, as much as, many great games it's given us. Yeah. That's my view on them at the moment.
Yeah, it's one of them things. I mean, I don't know all about like the legal stuff. It's pretty petty that they cancelled Smash Bros tournaments, but I do know about them overcharging for games, like 75 quid for their newest releases. It's pretty preposterous, really. It's quite ridiculous.
Yeah, and I'm hearing the Switch 2 prices are going to go up because I think they're gonna. I can't remember who told me, but they're saying I heard somewhere that they're gonna. You're only going to be able to buy a bundle. Like, you're not going to be able to buy the console on its own. They're going to pull the consoles on their own off the market.
Oh, that's weird. I wouldn't be surprised at this point. I feel like it's, there ain't really much incentive for Nintendo and Sony to graft like mad people anymore, because it feels like they're going to do well no matter what. There's no alternative to either of these consoles. Like Microsoft are completely in the bin. I know they're going to make a PC console hybrid, but that's not going to do any good. And in my opinion, anyway. And you got the Steam machine with Valve, and Valve are a genuine cool company, but the bloke who runs it, who looks a bit like I don't know how to describe him.
This is Gabe Newell.
That's it. Yeah, I was going to say he looks a bit like John Lennon, but if Lennon was a little bit bigger.
Overweight John Lennon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gabe Newell's like the only. He's like the last proper guy in the games development. As a game developer, he's the last proper guy. And once he's gone, then God help us, because he's been great. He's been great for like the last 25, 30 years. So
you got to respect him an awful lot.
Yeah, worked at Microsoft previously as well. I think he worked on like Windows 95 or 98 or something. Anyway,
very brainy geezer. Even describing the Luke's on Nintendo has felt dull and uninspired since the Switch era started.
Yeah, I can partially agree with that.
Heavy Lennon. Yeah, I mean, this geezer who played a lot of Switch, he said, "Oh well, you see, it was good for 3 years, but then after that, it was boring." And then I said this to one of my other mates, and he was like, "No, he just hasn't played the new games." And I said, "Well, what new games are they?" This was in like 2023, and he went, "Oh," and he didn't know what to say. But I'm sure, obviously, there were some decent exclusives out there and some decent updates, but it's just what a couple big Nintendo fans said.
There's some good titles out there, like the Switch. You know, I partially agree with the statements on them being dull and uninspired since the Switch era started. But at the same time, the Switch has been like absolutely amazing. It's been quite era defining. The other day, on Valentine's, Mary and I were playing It Takes Two of Us. I think that's what it was called. And yeah, this is just a great little title, multiplayer, that you can also play on Steam and I think on PlayStation. And yeah, we've been playing that, playing a different video game other than Mario Kart and Counter-Strike, amazingly enough. But yeah, there are some good games out there still, obviously.
Yeah, man, for sure. 100%. So, will you... another question I had was, will you ever do an interview with Tiger or Dasher one day?
I did one with Dasher.
Oh, cool.
And it's in the documentary in the MKDS 2021. It was like have you seen it?
I did watch it all the way through, but I must have I don't know, had a Mandela effect moment.
So it was a build up until his sort of interview reveal where he describes his experiences and talks about stuff. As for Tiger, it's in the works. I'm trying to sort something out, because I think that would be the sort of, I mean, Summoning Salt, who has done a history of the Mario Kart DS World Champion video, and that got 3 million hits last time I checked, and that's been very well received, and it's still being watched a lot today.
Yeah.
However, I would like there to be a spiritual successor to what I did in MKDS 2021, and that would be probably MKDS 2020, whatever year I end up making it, and it will be the story of Tiger.
That'd be very cool.
So I think that's going to be my big next life project, I think. It's going to be a bit more difficult though, because of the language barrier and the fact that, you know, that he's in Japan, and he's I think he's still a 17-year-old boy, so there's still a bit of time to develop that. And yeah, but it's definitely in the works. I do have contact with him via email, so we'll probably arrange something sometime in the future via some of the Japanese players. So that's going to be exciting, an exciting in-depth dive into his story, which I've been wanting to make for many, many years now, and I can go on about the topic for a long time. So yeah, it is in the works.
I remember that's good for sure, but I remember when you said because I remember this from your podcast about how one of the people being interviewed was saying, you know, Tiger's just a guy who's, you know, sitting there recording himself playing MKDS, and he's getting these world records, and then he puts his DS down, uploads it to YouTube, and that's that for him. But the community are all like, you know, buzzing about it. I can't believe he's pulled this off. How's he pulling these off? Whoa, you know. I find that really cool in a way. I find it interesting how you got these dudes who don't really stream that much or make many videos that are outside of their outside of their time trials, and then they just like vanish and go back to their normal lives. But I think at the same time, in speedrunning communities, you do need the people who actually interact with the community and stream like yourself. I feel like you need a balance of both. There's the cool stoicness of what like Tiger and Dasher do, but there's the coolness of, you know, you interacting with communities and doing full streams of you grafting at the game.
Yeah, fully agree. Like everybody does their own thing. Also depend, like specifically at MKDS, in the MKDS community and the broader like DS speedrunning community, you have to understand that it's very difficult to get, you know, capture hardware on one of these. So I'm very fortunate to own one that's modified, and to the extent it's been modified. So yeah, understandably, not everybody's going to be able to like stream with good quality and blah blah blah. So yeah, and it's still insane how much of a reach guys like Tiger, Dasher have with their YouTube channels and their world records. Like, it's thanks to them that high level, like the highest level Mario Kart DS is being showcased, and the game is still known today. Like, if you all you have to do is just like, if you're curious about who could the fastest people be at this game, just go to YouTube, put in Mario Kart DS world record, and you'll get their channels. And like, it's such a treat to watch, and I still watch their videos almost like weekly. I'm like, I want to watch this, I want to watch that lap where he did this one thing, da da da. And yeah, and Tiger's been covered in several channels, not just Summoning Salt, but I think the Japanese equivalent of Summoning Salt made a video on him, and several other channels and YouTube Shorts, and he's on TikTok. And sometimes I wonder if he's like really aware of like his reach in this scene and in the broader speedrunning community. Because like in recent years, whenever Mario Kart DS is mentioned, it's usually my name that gets brought up, because I've done the Games Done Quick and RTA in Japan and all these events, in-person events. And that one kid who's 11 years old who destroyed the scene, and that's Tiger. So it's established that sort of reputation, and that's great. That's great. It keeps the game alive, and you never know. You might have a kid right now playing, a 9-year-old playing fucking Roblox, unaware of his destiny to dethrone Tiger in 3 years or whatever. It's great. It's great that it's got this reach now. And a lot of people are arguing that speedrunning is it's declining now in terms of viewership. The golden era is gone. But I don't know, man. I beg to differ. Maybe we'll see another incline on the activity chart.
I think it's like a lot of industries in life. You need competition, and I feel like as long as speedrunning scenes are competitive, there'll always be people who are interested. I mean, I just enjoy having a laugh and seeing people play a game. But so I'm usually going to watch the speedrunners I enjoy watching, which is yourself. I don't really watch Shift anymore, the BFBB speedrunner, because I mean, I watch him a bit, but he's a bit, I don't know, he just doesn't say anything in his streams. He's just a bit like,
wants
to focus on the game.
You do get those types of people, and there are days where I feel more, I shift more towards just being more like being quiet and actually focusing. But I am interactive as well. I try and be as interactive as I can, because that's a crucial element to streaming. But there's people who do, like, you know, world record attempts for Tetris on Game Boy Color, no mic, like in brackets or whatever, and that's great. There's different people for different things in this community, and you know, yeah, does that make sense?
Most definitely, man. But I was going to say, like, I feel like with these older games, you know, there's this one stream called Pearl Foundation who plays SpongeBob, the SquarePants the movie game, and obviously I started watching your streams in late 2023. I just enjoyed watching older games because it just reminded me, I don't know, reminded me of the good old days, you know, and I've just kept watching them because not just because for nostalgia, because I was going through a difficult time, but it's also because I just enjoy watching now. I enjoy seeing the gameplay. I didn't really play MKDS much, to be honest. When I was younger, it was all right, but I played it a bit from like 2006 to like 2009. Most of the time on the DS, I enjoyed like, you know, Mario and Luigi.
Barrio, the new character just dropped, new DLC.
The what's his name? Bowser's Inside Story, which sounds like he's
Mario
getting a
Luigi.
rectal exam. But it was a bit like that. The game was really, it was a bit mad. As a kid, I didn't think it was that weird. I just thought it was a fun game where you run around inside Bowser's body and then you do things to make him stronger, and then you run around playing as Bowser. So I found that was interesting. And the new Mario Bros DS game from 2005, played that a fair bit. What else? And just a bunch of weird games that like you know, like the Scrabble and all that stuff, just weird random DS games. I wished I'd played more MKDS, but it's one of them things. The Mario Kart game I played the most was the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I love that one. That's definitely because everyone's got the game that they like. Some people like 64, you like DS. For me, it's MK8 Deluxe. I just really enjoy that one a lot. I've played a bit of World, and it's pretty good. It doesn't hook me as much as MK8 Deluxe, but it's definitely very objectively good, and there's a lot of cool stuff in there, like the free roam and the 6-track races. I find time trials a bit difficult. I was trying to play time trials at my mate's house, and I was just really struggling. I was struggling to beat the ghost. I don't know why. I just found it more difficult with the gameplay.
I like Mario Kart World. It's just very different, and they've stepped out of the traditional formula quite a bit, which is it's okay. You know, they've introduced the free roaming thing, and you could do you can do knockouts as well, which I love. I think that's a really good mode. And yes, it can be very luck based and blah blah blah. You know, you can say as much as you want about it, but at the end of the day, as much as I don't want to admit to it, Mario Kart is a party game. That's what it's marketed as, especially nowadays. And it's whatever, you know. And but I like it. I think it's got some very interesting mechanics, and it's very well made. It's very aesthetically quite nice. Good visuals. Good soundtrack, especially the soundtrack's incredible. It's got so many different renditions of different track themes, and not only track themes, but like from other non-Mario Kart games. I think from all the different Mario levels across all the different games that have been released. And just going back to what you were saying before about people that watch streams and stuff, whether they it's great. Like, for example, you watch the streams because you like watching them, and then there's other people that watch them and also get into the game, right? And I think that's brilliant. It's brilliant that a stream can bring people from different perspectives together to watch the stream, really, and enjoy what it is.
You don't have to be a speedrunner to enjoy and appreciate the art of speedrunning.
It's burst into the mainstream now that the word speedrunning is more or less known, right? If you talk to like the average gamer, you ask them, "Well, do you know speedrunning?" They'll be like, "Oh yeah. I've seen a Mario Bros speedrun on YouTube or whatever." So it's not the most niche thing anymore, which is it's great.
One thing I did want to ask, will we get a Postal 2 stream or a speedrun of Postal 2?
Could you remind me of what that was again? Postal.
Yeah, because I remember when I put it in the stream, you said, "Are you on about Portal?" I'm like, no, Postal 2. It would be great to see a Portal or Portal 2 speedrun, or you playing the Portal games. They're good fun and unique, but Postal's basically where you run around a village and just start like setting fire to castle, blowing up buildings and hassling people. It's quite a mad, funny game.
Oh, this looks like it looks like the main character from Deus Ex.
Oh yeah.
Interesting. I would definitely consider it because this game is like right up my alley for sure.
Yeah, it's a bonkers mad time.
Interesting. Oh, 2003 first-person shooter. Oh, for sure. Yeah. I dig stuff from this era a lot. So, maybe I'll get back to you on that one for sure.
I know you played the old Halo games as well. Do you reckon you'd ever try and play Halo 3 to sort of cap off the original Halo trilogy and find out what happens to Master Chief and his comrades?
Why not? Yeah, why not? I think I was playing the campaign when I had it on Xbox 360 many years ago, but I never finished it. I was in between stuff, and I just didn't give it I didn't give it my full attention.
Mhm.
But yeah, absolutely. I have huge respect for the Halo series, especially Halo 3. So yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, I'm sure I'll come back to like Halo one day. Yeah.
It'd be pretty badass. It'd be cool to have a game with you on the MCC on the old Halo games. When it
Are the
comes,
servers still playable?
yeah, they are. Yeah, I
are.
was told all there's. I mean, I'm not trying to, touch wood. Hopefully, there's no hackers and people ruining the game or turning my PC off from like Russia or wherever. But people said, "Oh, you're going to get hacked if you go back on the MCC." Whoa, And I'm sure that happens with Call of Duty because you haven't got a collection game. You haven't got like Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, or World at War, COD 4, Modern Warfare, MW2, etc. You haven't got like a collection of old Call of Duty games. Like with the MCC, it's all updated and you have a collection. So I feel like because it's had so many updates, it's going to be ahead of things. While if you're just playing a PC Black Ops 1 port, that was obviously game came out in 2010. Let's say they ported it in 2015 and they just left it there and said, "Oh, we don't need to update it. It's fine. And the Activision haven't looked after it. Then yeah, it does make sense that there's a lot of hackers. We can still get okay mileage out the games. I mean, for campaign, or you could get a load of people together and play a custom game. The only issue is like I say, they charge a lot for old games and the hackers on Call of Duty. But when it comes to Halo, I feel like you should definitely play the third Halo, just cap it all off. You could pretend it ends there. I mean, you've got Halo 3 ODST, which is a mid-call between Halo 2 and Halo 3. And then you've got Halo Reach, which is a prequel to Halo 1. I mean, Halo CE. And then you have Halo 4, 5, Halo Wars 2, Halo Infinite. Are they worth playing? I mean, maybe you might. I don't know, to be honest. I feel like Halo 4 had a good story, but the missions were crap. Halo 5 had a crap story, and the missions were crap, but the online was pretty good. Halo Infinite was just like a kind of good. It balanced the good storytelling and the missions better than the previous Halo games by 343 Industries. But it wasn't anything epic. It just kind of felt like Master Chief went on a side quest. And then Halo Wars 2, I'm not really into RTS games. But for an RTS, it had a rock, paper, scissors aspect at first. And then, which, if you play as a certain unit, you beat the other unit, and then that unit can beat that unit. But then it became very much pay to win. So not really my scene. I don't know. I feel like game franchises need to end, to a degree, or they shouldn't make too many mainline ones. Like, with Valve, they knew what they were doing. They made Portal 2, right? Wrap up shop. We made 2 good games there. They made Half-Life 2, brilliant, finished or great. You know what I'm saying? Left 4 Dead 2, Team Fortress 2. They know when to wrap things up. You know what I'm saying?
They know when to. They know not to make a third game for any of their franchises. So, yeah, and they got really. People around the world got really baited. Like a few months ago, I think it was the Game Awards or something. Everybody are all over Twitter going, Half-Life 3 is definitely going to be announced. Definitely. This has been going on for like 15 years. They're waiting for Half-Life 3 and it never comes out. And they got baited once again. I don't think that game's ever coming out.
I hope it doesn't.
I don't think it will come out. I think it's going to be so underwhelming as well.
Yeah, I haven't ever played Half-Life, but I do, and Half-Life 2, but I do want to get round to it at some point because everyone says it's some of the best FPS content going.
Yes. Having played both 1 and 2, and yeah, they're excellent. Really recommend them. They're quite some of the most immersive FPS games I've ever played. And yeah, some of the best games I've ever played, I think.
That is high praise. Always leave people wanting more with your creative endeavors. Don't live long enough. I mean, sorry. You know what Harvey Dent said? Like, obviously, you either live, you either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain.
Yeah.
So you either make good games that leave people wanting more, or you make too many games and you become the villain, and everyone gets fed up and tired.
It's a decent analogy, yeah. I guess you could sort of apply it to games, yeah.
But here we are. The convenience to Switch is a real game change. Play whatever you want, even after 10 years. Yeah, and you got you can play it on the telly and handheld, so it was definitely a game changer. Dude, Kennedy, I fell asleep. Yeah, he's brilliant, isn't he? Oh, got hype when seeing Abel on the screen. Got to do. Oh, I'm gonna sound daft, but who is TB1?
Oh, son, where do I begin?
I probably should have googled him. What is he, a bad dude?
See, no. He's if the MKDS community had a town square or like a little village, the TB1 would have a statue, a gold statue somewhere. So this is Thomas Bolton. He's a Swiss Mario Kart player. He's now living his life. He's every now and again he'll pop into the stream. You might have seen his username TB1.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's a former world champion for time trials. He featured in that Summoning Salt video.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, he's regarded as one of the best players of all time. Still regarded as the best online player of all time.
Damn.
One of the nicest guys, incredibly intelligent, very high IQ. He works in the neuroscience field, so he studies the brain, and yeah, solid guy. One of the best you'll ever meet. TB1, Thomas Bolton 1, the best one.
So I thought he was going to be some dude from Manchester, not Switzerland, but fair play.
From some council estate, yeah. No. He lives
I
in.
Need some MKDS, man. MKDS and Oasis all day.
Yeah. My God, what's that thing that Liam says? Oh God, I can't blank. But yeah. Do you think anything of being a public person as a streamer, as well as somebody who is trying to use his influence to grow the game? I guess if I were to answer that, yeah, I do feel a certain responsibility. Kind of like, I don't want to claim that I'm the face of MKDS, but like on Twitch, I am that guy who does MKDS. So I do feel a certain responsibility as I gain.
Franchise. The John Cena of MKDS.
Yeah, unfortunate. I mean, yeah, it's grown to that extent, and I'm very fortunate that it did, because
But if you were the John Cena of MKDS, you just need to move 10 feet to the your right or my left, and just be there. No microphone, just your seat. John Cena stream.
Yeah, exactly. We Mary and I were joking the other day about so I've got the starting screen, and I could like rig up a few cameras, or like have an animation of like you know how American chat show hosts do their little entrance thing, and they're in their suits and they go into the stage and the crowd's waiting for them. I could do something like that as a thing for MKDS, but it'd be a bit too much.
Yeah,
for the show.
But yeah, I find it interesting. With John Cena, everyone knows about the "You can't see me" meme.
Yeah.
I don't know much about his career, but everyone's like, John Cena. John Cena's here. Way,
He's very well loved, especially for those who watch who've watched wrestling over the years. Like he's really loved. I mean, he's a good guy. And like if you listen to him in interviews outside of wrestling, he's a sound guy.
He's a very cool bloke, but I did find out about some wrestlers who had sort of like bad dealings with him.
Oh.
The one that stuck with me the most is this dude called Alex Riley, who I remember from 2011, to be honest. He was an all right wrestler. He was just he was sort of like henchman or bodyguard for this bloke called The Miz in like 2011, 2012. And John Cena kept inviting him into his tour bus to have drinks, which is a little bit, you've got a full locker room of like your friends or colleagues, and you're inviting one geezer in for a drink over and over and over again. A little bit, well, you know,
Raises an eyebrow. Yeah.
a little bit sussy. And apparently Alex Riley just didn't want to go in there anymore. He just said, "Look, I've had a few sessions with you. I don't want to keep having sessions where it's just me and you over and over again in your tour bus, mate." You know, like if you invited 2 other wrestlers, then it would be kind of cool. Like, oh, your friend group. But when you just invite one geezer in, it's a little bit like, I don't know, could come across as a bit creepy. And then apparently John Cena did stuff to get him fired and pushed out the company after that, which is really weird. I mean, he could just be an obsessive, like a dude who's like, I really want to be friends with this guy. Like, there are people like that who exist who really want to be friends with someone, but to keep inviting them in for a drink is a little bit, well.
Yeah, there are like there is a lot of unexplained behavior from people, and it can come down to multiple things. Like, for instance, a few weeks ago, I read about what's the name of the guy who plays Hopper in Stranger Things? Have you seen? Yeah, he someone on Reddit. I mean, I think it's been verified, but apparently someone on Reddit posted that they've had an experience where they were out with their daughters, like their 10-year-old daughters, whatever, and they came across Dave Harbour, who like approached them and said, you need to take me to this place. You need to drive me there. Da, da, da. And the guy was like, go away. I don't know you. Da, da, da. And he caused like this entire scene, but it was revealed that like he has like bipolar disorder or something like this. So I don't know. It's really interesting. Everybody's got their own stories, but that one really surprised me.
Everyone's got their own things that they've done embarrassingly, but or like some weird thing that they've said in private or whatever. But you know, with John Cena at the height of his fame, or even near the, well, actually, no, I'd say he's been at the height of his fame for ages. Actually, he's always been quite well known, probably since like the mid 2000s to now. Like, he was in WWE since 2002, but I feel like he really hit his fame when he like had the rivalry with Edge, and they kept pushing Cena. As much as a lot of fans didn't like him, and I didn't like how he used to bury talent and always win, he has put a lot of people over, which means he's lost to them in the storyline. So you've got to give him respect that he's put so many people over, you know. So, but there is, I don't know, I feel like when you're famous, you've got to tread on eggshells. Like, I'm sure everyone, as much as people love to point the finger and say, oh, this person sent a stupid text message or a stupid voice message or said something that came across as a bit creepy, or oh, they sent this weird photo of themselves going like that, or in a weird suit or whatever. Like, we've all got that stuff, but it's funny how that people point the fingers. You know what I'm saying? When everyone has some weird thing that they've said over Xbox or over text or on some sort of social media or cringe post that they've done, but it's just, I reckon the people that are the loudest about it are the people that have done daft stuff. But don't get me wrong, like, there are things that do need to be said. You know, like the Ava Chris Tyson stuff, and if someone's threatening someone over DMs or whatever, or something evil, or hassling people, or anything nonsense, then yes, that does need to be said and brought up. But instead of hassling them and cancelling them, I think everyone should just be making calls to the police, to be honest, because that's what actually needs to happen if they've made threats or done something nonce like, or said some horror. You know what I'm saying? That's what needs to happen, not this person's awful, and they recover from a bit of bombardment. You know, really the police and the law should be getting involved with those sort of ones. But if someone says something silly over text message, like, I don't know, just anything a bit daft or sent a bit of an edgy meme, I feel like when I see that happen, I just think, oh, I'm not really bothered, to be honest. I don't really. I just think there's more. There's so much going on in like my life. I feel like, why would I care if Moist Critical said something edgy, or if Axeman said something edgy a few years ago?
Yeah, fully agreed. Like, there's lines to be drawn, and like, you know, the majority of people aren't too outraged about something that gets dug up from someone's past, like some minor internet person, you know. Oh, we found out that this guy who makes speedrunning documentary videos said the N-word in some forum in 2007 when he was 13. It's like, we've all done daft things, and you know, stuff like, it's just, It's where to draw the line. It's where to draw the line. Obviously, if it's, as you said, threats and, you know, something of a inappropriate sexual nature or something that's quite heavy, then absolutely that's something to be reported. But if it's shite like that, who cares? Genuinely, who cares? But that's how I see it.
I think the modern world is just too, especially in the West, there's just too much obsession with bringing people down and trying to destroy ourselves from within. I feel there's too much. We've got it so comfortable and nice now in our societies that we just want to look for successful people to be jealous of and bring down and all that stuff. That's how I feel anyway. Or, you know, this person slipped up in like the tiniest way, let's go after him. And
it's to count small wins, and they give people such a high, you know, to collate a huge Twitter thread of screenshots of like, oh, this is a WhatsApp screenshot of him saying this minor thing, and it's like, yeah, it's a bit sad, but
it is definitely like, I mean, there's this MMA fighter called Paddy the Baddy Pimlet, and he's quite a hypocritical guy, really, in some aspects. Like, he'll go on about mental health, but then say nasty things to people. And then he'll say stuff like, mate, if I'm as big as Conor McGregor, there'll be no more food banks again in the UK. And it's like, okay, but then he's kissing the boss's arse saying, fighter pay. And the fighter pay for the new starting fighters is crap. And he's like, he basically, like, 1 minute he'll be all for the people, and the next minute he'll be kissing the boss's arse. And I don't mind if he's kissing the boss's arse, whatever. It doesn't affect my life. And I don't mind if he's helping get rid of food banks or whatever and giving people food. That's amazing. But don't be a hypocrite, you know. Don't have a go at people and put people down, or don't say one thing and then do something else. That's what annoys me. But I'd never be like, oh, I'm so glad that Paddy the Baddy's been cancelled. I'm just like, well, he's a bit of a hypocritical tit. But as long as he's not hurting people or doing something illegal, then I'm not really bothered. That's his issue, you know. I mean, there are some UFC fighters who've genuinely done horrible things, like assaulted people or abuse, but they're the ones I dislike. Well, Paddy the Baddy, I just think, well, this dude's a bit of a tosspot. He makes some daft points at times.
It's tits. They're just tits.
Yeah,
plenty of them in the world. But just move on. Just gotta do the best you can, and just don't let all this noise affect you, and just live a drama-free, quiet life within your own little circle, and
100%.
for the people that care, with the people that really care, and that's it, really.
Bang on the money, man. Because I know you mentioned about, you know, you and Mary might have a kid at some point, or 2 kids, or what have you. And I feel like that's the most, like I said earlier, that's such an important thing, because, you know, Muhammad Ali said something along the lines of, well, you can have gold and all this stuff and all the wealth, but gold can't come. He said this. He said it really in an articulate way, like in a poem type way. He made it rhyme like he always did, and he was like, you know, gold can't comfort you or help you or do anything for you. It can't listen to your sorrows or help you out when you're struggling. It can't offer any advice. It's just gold. It's just a bit safty and it's pointless. So I feel like, you know, look, well, Dire Straits did a song called "This Love Over Gold." You know what I'm saying? That's the most important thing. Materialistic stuff, it will fade. You know what I'm saying? While you know, love is infinite. You
realize this the older you get, and yeah, Muhammad Ali was one of a kind. I don't think I haven't seen someone of that stature, and he was so eloquent when he was speaking, and he just made perfect sense. Like, if you listen to his interviews, and he was unapologetic as well about who he was and his identity and all that stuff. So he's great. He's great.
Yeah, man. And his trash talk. I mean, he was pretty nasty to Joe Frazier. He said some stuff that was a little bit too far, and showing up to his house with a gun was pretty lame. But for the most part, he was very good at, like, winding people up, but not saying anything too nasty.
Yeah,
you sort of would laugh at his trash talk more than.
Of course.
Get annoyed and feel like that's too far.
If you think about it, all the greats over the last, like, 100 years, or, you know, all the public facing greats and people in media and in the arts and politicians and, you know, leaders and stuff, the ones who risk most are often the ones who, from what I've observed, the ones who risk most are typically the ones who have carried baggage along the way, like have said controversial things. Like one other that comes to mind, John Lennon saying the Beatles are bigger than Jesus.
Yeah,
Something like this. I know it carries a lot of weight to it, but then, you know, his legacy does say, his legacy and what he's achieved does say a lot. And then you look at what Muhammad Ali says, and all these different people that said controversial things. I've lost my wording here, but do you get what I mean?
John Lennon did. I mean, some of his solo stuff, a few of the songs, I'm thinking, bloody hell, he's off his head. He's taking some. If he was saying this stuff in the modern day, he'd be bloody thrown out the music industry.
No, of course.
With him saying the Beatles are bigger than Jesus years ago, when I was quite a lukewarm Christian, I thought, oh, it doesn't matter. He didn't mean it. But now that I've come to the faith more, I do not like what he said at all there, to be honest. And you don't, that's in fair, my opinion. And I'm not saying, oh, he's the worst bloke ever or anything. But personally, from my perspective, I thought that was a horrible thing to say. Does it mean that I wished any harm on him? Does it mean that I think, oh, he got killed? Well, haha, you know, serves you right. No, of course not. It's horrible that he got shot and killed. I do not wish, you know, if I was around at that time, all I would have prayed for is that he came to Jesus in the end and, you know, repented for what he did. And maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Only God knows what's in his heart. So I do not wish anything bad on him at all. Well, if I was around when he was around, I wouldn't have wished anything bad upon him. But I don't agree with him saying outrageous things like that.
Yeah, of course. I understand. But the point I was trying to make was that anyone who has, you know, achieved that level, any level of greatness, has come at the cost of like many mistakes and saying many controversial things like that. That's pretty much what I wanted to say.
100%. I mean, if you look at the Donald who's been president twice, you know, on his second term, he said a load of saff things. Joe Biden said loads of saff things. Obama had a past and he was very successful. Like he certainly had a past with all of his some of his drug antics. I mean, obviously you have got your boring politicians like Keir Starmer, and you know you've got your people like Tony Blair, who are very clean cut, and you got your boxers as well and sports people who are like, you know, like Tyson Fury. He's lived a wild life, although he gets on my nerves a bit now. He lived a wild life and came back from being 28 stone. You know what I'm saying? Mayweather's a bit controversial with all his bloody yapping and having to go at people and all that stuff, and his old trash talk. Obviously, he has been a bit abusive to his lovers in the past, which is quite messed up. But from a boxing sense, he's a bit controversial with all his yapping and trash talk and politics behind the scenes with, you know, how he wouldn't fight. He'd fight fighters when they're very young or wait to fight fighters when they're a bit old. He wouldn't like to fight people in the absolute prime at times. Sugar Shane Mosley was quite past it. And it was that Arturo Gotti. He'd been whooped. He'd been beaten quite badly before he fought Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? So he picked and chose his fights a bit too much. Well, if you look at Muhammad Ali, he fought everyone in their prime. He fought the best versions of everyone. No fear here. He just got in the ring year after year. Decent rhyme.
Brian Clough was another controversial sporting figure who and him and Muhammad Ali in the late 60s had a bit of a crossover. I'm not sure if you know about this, but on a BBC program, Muhammad Ali was looking into the camera. He was doing some interview and said, this Brian Clough, some soccer player from England, he's calling me out. You stop it, Brian. And then it cut to Brian Clough doing an interview with whoever it was, saying, so that's what he said to you. What do you have to say to him? He said, oh, I'd like to fight him. And I just bring Brian Clough about because he was a very, very, very successful manager, still talked about today. Managed Leeds United, Nottingham Forest, Derby County, won championships with each team. And he said some really outlandish things that would get him cancelled today, obviously. But he was, you know, he's very remembered, and again, just sort of supports the point I was trying to make before of, you know, all the risk taking that one does. You are going to make loads of mistakes and say some things that you'd regret, but typically they are usually very successful people that follow this sort of journey. You got to you got to take a lot of risks.
True. Very true indeed.
Yeah, but yeah, if you're interested in that, look up Brian Clough Muhammad Ali on YouTube when you have a moment. It's very funny.
Will do. A few more questions, and then obviously I know there's that thing you wanted to mention about what you got on Friday. But
oh yes,
if you weren't doing speedruns creatively, what do you reckon you do with your time?
Oh, I don't know. Anything, not just necessarily creatively. Anything. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I've got my other passions are just football, watching football, keeping up with football. It's usually it's probably going to be some competitive thing. Like I've always been heavily competitive in my nature.
Yeah.
So I would have maybe. Look, if speedrunning hadn't become a thing, if MKDS hadn't become a thing when I was much younger, I would have been a football player, I think.
Yeah.
Don't know if I would have made it pro or anything, but just competing in something, whether it's that or whatever it is, something competitive. I can't quite tell you what, but definitely something of that nature. Yeah.
Fair comments. I respect that. What would you say your favorite and least favorite things about streaming are?
Favorite and least favorite things about streaming. My favorite thing is coming on, playing the game that I love in front of a sizable amount of people. I think that is something that warms my heart every day, and I think it's great. And the fact that I can help other people improve at the game I love and give advice and share moments of laughter, anguish, suffer together, laugh together, just be together with others. I guess that would be the thing I like most. As for what I don't like, I don't know. I don't know. I guess when technical things go wrong,
that's frustrating.
That's frustrating. It really interrupts the flow of the broadcast, and it really can trigger my mood going downhill. If anything, maybe that. The excess of poo stream comments as well.
Poo stream, please.
Nah, but yeah, there's very little that I like really dislike. Like if you do something like this, there really isn't much there isn't anything major that you'd end up disliking. Like if anything, yeah, the little technical blips and things that can happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically that, I think.
I respect that. Mm-hmm. Who's your favorite YouTuber at the moment?
I'm watching a guy called Big Brained American a lot. Do you know this guy?
I think you might mention him. Does he do traveling videos or something?
He does. Yeah.
Didn't he like visit Afghanistan or something?
He may have. Recently, he did an Africa tour where he went to like Ghana, he went to Egypt, he went to Somaliland, all these different places, and he documented the whole thing. And he's good editing and a good sense of humor. Very funny interactions. Like whenever there's a different language being spoken, like he puts fake subtitles in, which are very amusing. And so I'd say small brained American. He's very good, so check him out. He's about to reach 1 million subs, I think.
Oh, watching the videos do look pretty banterous and interesting.
Oh, they were really funny. So I'd say him, yeah, for sure.
Which music are you listening to at the moment, or which artists?
Probably just going back to the usual ones. I'm listening to a lot of Oasis live albums.
Oh, fair enough.
The Wembley 2000 gigs that they did. I thought Liam's voice sounded amazing there, and Noel's guitar playing was really solid.
Was that when Liam says can we get some breasts on this screen? And then
maybe
basically they're both
it-
on absolute mad ones. They seem like they're completely
yeah,
opposite Liam and Noel.
yeah.
If we think of the same one, Wembley 2000, he's got the John Lennon hair and the red glasses.
He's got. I know Liam's got the long hair. He's got like the sort of octagonal glasses or something, and he's got a denim jacket on.
Oh yeah, it's the one I'm thinking of. Then yeah, they're on mad ones in that. They're always having a go about they're getting annoyed all the time.
Yeah. And before they play Gas Panic, he goes up to the mic and goes, "This is for all the potheads.
That's it. Yeah.
Listen carefully. This is a good tune." And then they play a great song. And
I think his voice was failing a bit then, though. It sounded a bit more like that. It still was good.
Yeah. It was definitely more of a live voice. Wasn't as angelic as like the mid-90s.
Yeah.
But it still sounded like a really rough rock and roll voice.
Like a very distinctive.
Absolutely. So yeah, definitely apart from them, I just keep going back to the usual,
the good old Jam.
The Jam and bit of the Smiths, bit of the Stone Roses, obviously. Yeah, I just rotate between the same shit. Like I don't really I barely discover new artists. I listened to a song by Nancy Sinatra the other day, which I really liked. I forgot which one it was.
Are you putting the music and art?
Yeah. That's right. Oh yeah, because I watched a random Breaking Bad episode and it played at one point. So I was like, what's this song? And I looked it up and it was Nancy Sinatra. So yeah, that's been my music these days. What about you?
Yeah, I post a lot of my music in Discord, to be fair.
Yeah, you have actually.
Let's have a look at some of the stuff I posted. Yeah, Duran, they're brilliant. They've done a lot of good songs. Madness, they're a decent laugh. Rush, yeah, they're good.
Beastie Boys.
Oh yeah. Don't you tell me to smile. You stick around and make it worth your while.
Yeah.
Amazing tune intergalactic with each verse rhyming with each other. So like the first verse, all the words would rhyme. Second verse, all words would rhyme. Third verse, all words would rhyme. And they sound pretty good. I think with my music taste, I like all sorts, man. I like Jim Reeves and Frank Sinatra and Chuck Berry, but I'll also, I rate like stuff from the 2000s, like Robbie Williams and the Killers and the Strokes and Arctic Monkeys and but stuff. I basically anything from like 1950 to 2010. I usually like and respect it. Not all of it from 2000s, but then after the 2010s, it gets a bit hit and miss.
It gets difficult to like stuff. Yeah.
And then 2020s has mostly been naff apart from that album the Strokes did. Music's really gone downhill, but it's all about what sells, and like Cardi B dancing and Billie Eilish dancing, that sells a lot more than a proper artistic musician. And I'm not saying obviously Billie Eilish can sing very well and Cardi B can dance pretty well, I suppose, but they're not. They've got nothing on the Beatles. They've got nothing on Jerry and the Pacemakers. They've got nothing on the Kinks. They've got nothing on the Clash. They've got nothing on the Police. You know what I'm saying? There's so many artists who are a million times better than those two, and any modern artist, in my opinion.
That's the thing. I don't see a lot of these modern artists playing instruments. I think that's the key difference. I don't see them. I don't see a drummer on stage. I don't see a guitarist. It's not for me. Yeah, not for me. I can like if somebody comes up to me and goes, "Do you hear the new Bad Bunny album?" I'm like, I want to tell them to fuck off, but I'm like, not for me. Not for me. I have to hold back. But I heard he recently played the Super Bowl, and everybody's been talking about that. But I don't care. I didn't even listen to it. Not for me. Not for me.
And we talked about the Switch 2 earlier, but the final question before I want to move on, one more thing. It'll be a quick thing after this, but thoughts on the Switch 2 so far and its run?
The Switch 2 is a great piece of hardware. I like it very much. Doesn't have too many games though at the moment. I don't know why. But so far the games that have come out have been good. Mario Kart World, obviously. The new, I think, Sonic racing game, I think, came out. I don't know if that's released for Switch 1 as well. But I think there's a Kirby game as well. And there's a Donkey Kong Bonanza, which made a lot of noise, and a few others. But it doesn't seem to have a very wide wide range of games at the moment. I don't know why, but I like it. Like, compared to the Switch One, it's a definite improvement. It's got more battery. It's the Joy-Cons like snap on with magnets onto the console. Actually, I'll roll back on that. I don't think it's got more battery because it consumes more. It's an improve. It's like PS1 and PS2. I think that's how I'd compare it. It's just a clear, definite improvement. I think it just needs more games, and they need to lower the price a bit more. But they're not going to do that. Do you have a Switch 2 or?
No, I'm not going to get one for a while. I'm happy with the Switch One, and I'll go on it
Okay.
around one of my mates' houses once in a while.
Fair enough.
I just
Fair
enjoy,
enough.
playing it there sometimes. But maybe I'll get a Switch 2 eventually. Don't know. So the next thing I wanted to do was get a couple TTSs up briefly. TTS clips. So,
okay.
I sent this to one of my
You
mates.
got the playlist ready?
Oh no, I only managed to. I thought of this idea at the last second. So maybe when you come on, if you come on in a few months again, we can. I can get a few more. But here we go.
Weighty masturbated cheeky bing bong now spank me silly user. Weighty masturbated cheeky bing bong now spank me silly user. The condition is that we get a belly stream. Belly stream.
Oh God.
Belly stream. Belly stream. Please.
Please.
At least three
Please.
26 requests.
Yank me, please, now.
The witch always kills me.
Alrighty, now we're in 2026. We must remake Only Fools and Horses with Abel
Who's that?
as Dell and Rodney
That's Sonic.
as Uncle Albert.
Sweet feet, can we not speak about the peas?
Yeah, that was Sonic.
Oh yeah.
Feet, can we not speak about the peas? No 3 or 4 different frogs to eat, so it.
I think one day I need to make a mega cut of all these TTSs into a YouTube video. Maybe redacting a lot of the shit that's said, but yeah, they're good. They're really good. There's another one.
Crypto. I wonder if streamers have given it a go. Like, if there's a streamer out there, like a big streamer, like think Ludwig or I don't know, fucking iShowSpeed or one of these guys, like have a go at having their own crypto currency or something. Like a lot of people have tried.
Abel Babel Twonk sort it out. Now you silly willy prick.
I've shoved some international Abel currency up my bottom.
Okay, still 201.
I like how they're one after the the voices take turns.
Yeah.
Patiently waiting to say their ridiculous lines.
I love as well how I put stuff like Abel, you tit, or stop being a tit, like as a joke, and it's cool that you're not like, why are you calling me a tit in this TTS for? But obviously it's just part of the mad characters that I'm putting in.
It is, yeah. In it, like whenever I do a stream, it's me, but at the same time, sometimes I feel like I'm developing my own character within myself. Does that make sense? Like someone that's tailored towards the stream, and I'm kind of like the viewer's play toy. You can abuse me as much as you want. I don't care.
Just an extension of the madness.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh, that was good. That's going to go into like a 1-hour supercut one day for sure.
I hope so, man. I have got some before you started archiving the TTSs as well. So I will try and make. I'll honestly try and make a video of it myself and save a load of them and just put them on in an edit and see what I can do. I do screen record other people's TTSs sometimes when I can. So that might be funny to put in there as well.
Awesome. And all of them are being archived on YouTube as well. So if at any point if at any point they get lost, they're all on YouTube and clip in there. Yeah,
exactly. Do you want to say about the stream that you have on Friday? The floor is yours.
Yes. So very important announcement for those watching, and for those watching maybe in the VOD. On Friday the 20th of February, in the afternoon and deep into the evening, I'm going to be doing a charity stream on the front page of Twitch, and I'm going to be doing a Mario Kart DS 100% speed run. So it involves basically completing the game fully playing through all the Grand Prix, finishing all the time trial, staff ghosts, and beating the mission. So it will take 6 to 7 hours. It's a brutally long speed run, but I'll be raising money for the British Heart Foundation, something that's really close to me. I'd like to add that recently I lost, in the last week, I actually lost my uncle to heart problems. So this is really close to me, and I want to do what's as much as I can, really, to raise awareness about this. I've got other family members as well who have been affected by heart disease. So do join on Friday the 20th. It's going to be on the front page of Twitch. Going to have well over 1,000 people in, and hopefully raise as much money as possible as I torture myself for 7 hours. And yeah, hope to see you there.
Well, I'm awful sorry about your uncle, man.
Yeah.
You know, I respect the tremendous courage to still stream, you know, throughout the grief, and you know, still like even still hopping on the podcast today. I respect that an awful lot, because
yeah,
everyone's got their own ways of dealing with grief, of course. Some people, they want to get straight back to work with stuff and have their mind kept off of it. Some people want time off, and there's no, you know, as long as you're not hurting yourself or anyone else, there's no right or wrong way to deal with grief, whether that's keeping busy or trying to take a big break from things. But I respect the hustle of you still streaming and even coming on here.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. It's just, I mean, life is so fragile. You just, as cliche as it sounds, you just gotta move on. You just gotta move on and remember people, as in get on with your life. You remember their memory, you cherish their memory, and just do what's best. Just move forwards, and yeah, it's an awful thing to have to live with this reminder that, you know, stuff like heart disease or cancer or stuff like this affects people, and it's very real. And yeah, got really nothing else to add there.
Yeah, I was going to say as well, you know, it's good that you're doing you choosing a charity that you're passionate about. Obviously, some people are like, oh, well, they might just do a charity for the sake of it or pick some random charity. But I feel like with these charity streams, it's so important to pick a charity that you can actually relate to, you know, like whether that, you know, like yourself, with having family members who have suffered with heart problems and passed away with heart problems, the Heart Foundation would mean an awful lot to you. And people, you know, who've lost people to cancer or dealt with cancer at some point, cancer research might mean a lot to them. The, you know, Alzheimer's charity, when people have to deal with like dementia type things, you know, disabled charities where people might have like, you know, problems like ME or fibromyalgia or chronic back pain or nerve damage, where it makes their life a lot harder, and they might think, I want to do a charity for this so I can help people like myself or people even in worse conditions than myself. So it's always important to do charities that you can relate to and that mean a lot to you, because then I'm not saying that you can't just pick a random charity and that you can't do well, but I feel like your best chance of doing well and making something good and pushing yourself is when you can relate to that charity and it means a lot to you.
Yeah, it's a lot more, I suppose, heartfelt, genuine, and positive when you've got that direct connection to it. So and even you know, just doing charity in general, just giving is good. If you give, you'll receive, and just try and help people as much as possible. That's as simple as it gets. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah, 100%, man. Bang on the money. Yes. And yes. I guess we can. Anything else you want to add before we wrap up?
Thank you for having me again. It was really, really fun talking to you about these topics and just about everything. And yeah, I'd love to do another one in the future. Why not? It's really enjoyable.
Yeah, man. Thanks very much. I really enjoy having you as a guest. You know.
Yeah. And I'm gonna go live in a little bit. So twitch.tv/Abel. But yeah, just thanks so much for the support on the streams every day. Like, really humble that people such as yourself and everyone else just comes and joins the streams, and we get to talk about, you know, stuff that isn't necessarily just MKDS, just other topics, IRL stuff, and whatever it is. It's a real community that we have, like a really small, tight-knit community. And
yeah, I mean, even though I don't say a lot in the Discord, I do enjoy talking to the people in the stream chat and stuff, and just saying, like, oh, I don't know, like I could say some random stuff like, oh, this UFC thing. I don't go too much into detail with UFC, but like I might say something about UFC or this random film that I've watched, or I don't know, my belly flung out at work, just random stuff. And like people will, you know, no one's saying, oh, shut up, what you on about? Everyone's just either getting on with their day or like laughing about it, or they might say something about it back, or you might say, so you went and chucked coffee on you went and chucked a cold coffee on your belly and ran around your workplace. Oh, there you go. You know, so it would be a decent laugh, you know.
I'm surprised how tolerated the chaos has been. There hasn't been a single person coming up to you and going, the fuck are you saying? Or anything like that. So I'm quite proud of the tolerant and chaotic environment that I've nurtured in the last couple of years.
There's a few WTFs when I'm going mad, but no, like, shut the F up, do what you want about, you know. But that makes me want to do it all the more. But, you know.
Yeah. I think one of the great things about the stream is that, like, I present myself in in different layers. Like, I feel like I'm wearing different layers of irony the whole time. And I also feel like the majority of the viewers fit in with that. Well, like, you guys could tell when I'm bullshitting or not. Like, I'm trolling 70% of the time. And I think I take inspiration from other streamers that do similar. And it's just fun. It's just fun. Nothing needs to be taken seriously. And I love it. I love it.
There was one last quick thing I wanted to ask as well. You know, you mentioned you had a 360. What was the last console that wasn't Nintendo that you purchased, like out of the Xboxes and the PlayStations? I don't think you've had PlayStation, have you? Or am I wrong?
I didn't have PlayStations when they were around. Like when they like when the PS1 was around, I was an N64 boy. That's what I had. And when the PS2 was around, I had the GameCube. So I went from N64 to GameCube and then to Wii. I never bought a PS1 or a PS2 or a PS3 or any of them. I do own a PS1 and a PS2, but they got handed down to me. No, the PS1 got handed down, and the PS2 I think I bought at a CEX a couple of years ago just to play like Silent Hill or something. I forgot. But last console I bought before the Switch, non-Nintendo console, I guess it must have been the Xbox 360.
Damn.
In 2010, I had finished year 9.
Oh, okay.
I think. I remember I was, I think I really wanted to play Black Ops because everybody at school had it.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be in on it. But yeah, I don't think I never bought a PlayStation console when they were around. So it was an Xbox. Yeah, the Xbox, the only one I bought besides Nintendo consoles, actually.
Yeah. Fair enough, man. Well, like I say, we'll nice to wrap that one up there then.
Awesome.
Any final words?
Yeah, again, thanks for watching the content. Thanks again for having me, Witty. And to anybody who doesn't know who I am, I stream on Twitch. I play Mario Kart DS, twitch.tv/Abel. I'm going to be doing a charity stream this Friday, the 20th. Hope you can join in. We're raising money for the British Heart Foundation and MKDS for life. That's it.
All good in the neighborhood then.
All right.
Abel, thank you for coming on.
Cheers. Thank you very much for having me.
No worries. Everyone else, thank you for watching. All we've got to say for today. Take care. All the best. God bless.
See you later.